that is in action, and we need to talk about, we need to celebrate, and that is Thursday night. Buffalo Bills trying to get after it, and Josh Allen is in the midst of transforming into Superman. The Buffalo Bills take on the Houston Texans Thursday night, Prime Video. I am all about it, and the reason why this is a huge game for the Buffalo Bills is because last time we saw them come out, Josh Allen went full superhero mode for them. Against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Josh Allen put up 6 total touchdowns, threw for over 300, did all the things that we love to see him do as a runner. He made plays on improvisational plays, designed quarterback runs. He got busy, and this is the way that the Buffalo Bills will need him to play going forward. When you think about the Buffalo Bills, so much of the hype about the Buffalo Bills being Super Bowl contenders was about this team being a great team where the offense and defense were going to be able to play complementary football and they were going to win games. Well, right now, the defense is not playing at the level that we thought they would play, and some of the supporting pieces on offense haven't performed up to expectation. I mean, the running game has been okay, but you haven't got the contributions on the outside that you thought you would get from Keon Coleman. Keon Coleman can't show up on time, so Keon Coleman gets benched and doesn't play. Now you're trying to do it with a cast of unknowns, unheralded, misfits, and those things. So it requires you to hit what they say, the Josh Allen button early, meaning Josh Allen go into the phone booth, come out, become Superman, and do the things that you've done for the last few years up in Buffalo. He hasn't been asked to do that because the team had played so well. James Cook was rolling. They were getting great contributions from the defense, being opportunistic, creating turnovers, and then he was able to make the plays in a very efficient and effective manner. Throw that out the door because right now the Buffalo Bills are 7-3. They're trailing New England Patriots, and it's situation critical in terms of their playoff hopes and, more importantly, getting the seed or getting back into contention to swipe the division from the Patriots. When you look at the Patriots, man, the Patriots are set up to roll and to finish this thing off as the top team in the AFC East and maybe the number 1 seed in the AFC. The only way the Buffalo Bills are going to catch ground because they have another matchup against him is for Josh Allen to put it on his back and to be the MVP that he showed that he could be last year. Now, last year when he won the MVP, it was more because he managed the team effectively. He made some plays when he needed to, but it wasn't what we've seen from Josh Allen in the past. When we've seen him go bonkers, we've seen him be the guy every year that puts up 25 passing touchdowns, 10 rushing touchdowns. We need more of that. And the Buffalo Bills need more of that. And Josh Allen recognizes that they need more of that, which is why he's very comfortable putting the cape on. And Joe Brady has made it even easier for him to put the cape on because the thing that we know, they have been trying to preserve and protect him and really make it a situation where they unleash Josh Allen in the playoffs or in the meaningful games down the stretch. Well, now we're getting to that point where they need him to be that guy. And I think he is ready to be the man that we've talked about him being. So when you look at the odds on FanDuel Sportsbook, I mean, this is an easy one. This is the one that you want to play. Over under on total touchdowns is 1.5. You're talking about a number of plus 124. Man, I'm taking that all day, every day. When you think about what he has been able to do, pass yards, will he go over 224 and a half? It's minus 440. I'm taking both of those because I just saw the man come off a game where he had 3 rushing touchdowns, and 3 passing TDs. I just think it's easy. In 8 seasons, he's already tied with Cam Newton for the most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback in NFL history. And with one more, he breaks the record. Break out the place because he's going to shatter that record. I think he's going to shatter against the Houston Texans, even though they have a formidable pass rush. I just love Josh Allen in superhero mode. The more that he takes on, the better he is. I am all about Josh Allen being able to get this done as the Superman up in Western New York, being able to get this done. Now let's go out to the West Coast in my home city. The LA Rams have found a cheat code, and they found a cheat code that other teams are beginning to lean into, but the cheat code for the Rams has been 13 personnel. And when I mean 13 personnel, I want you to understand in football terms, you always do the number based on the number of running backs and number of tight ends on the field. That's how you signal in. So 13 personnel is 1 back, 3 tight ends, and then there's another wide receiver on the field. 13 personnel is the personnel of choice for the LA Rams. They're doing it more than anybody in the National Football League. And what's crazy about it is last year, they were a team that didn't use it at all. I mean, they used it in less than 1% of their offensive snaps a year ago. And now we're talking about on the season, these guys have been using it 16% of the time. And in the last 3 or 4 weeks in each of their games, they've been close to 40% or over 40% of the snaps in 13 personnel. And when you think about why they're doing it, it's because Puka Nacua had an injury first, and then Devontae Adams, they're trying to figure out how to kind of preserve their personnel and how to win while those guys were in and out the lineup. But what they stumbled across is a matchup nightmare for defenses. And the reason why it's such a bad matchup is because you have 3 tight ends on the field. And so to the defense, that signals, okay, that could be goal line, that could be short yardage, that could be a run heavy down. Let's make sure we put the big bodies on the field. Well, when you put the big bodies on the field against the Rams, when they tried out Tyler Higbee, Kobe Parkinson, Dennis Allen, and Ferguson, they have guys that are versatile enough to, we can get up there and we can kind of block and bully you like a traditional big body, or we can go out wide, we can line up in the slot, we can line up out on the flanks, and we can win our one-on-one routes against these guys that are not comfortable being in space, meaning linebackers or safeties. Then they do it with condensed sets, unbalanced lines, snug formations where they can sneak in some pick and rub plays to complement the run action that they're using out of those heavy sets. And when you get all of that combination, people get lost in the sauce, and it makes it a very easy pass for Matthew Stafford. When you think about Matthew Stafford out of it, man, I think Matthew Stafford has 13 touchdowns out of 13 personnel. That is bananas when you look at what teams are doing and why teams are having a tough time. And it's the play action, it's the snug formations, it's the unbalanced where you can't get lined up, meaning they have 4 or 5 to a side. You have to balance up your defense because you're outnumbered in the run game because they have more gaps, because those bodies create extra gaps. And then when you over adjust to that, they're either able to run to the nub side, the short side, or they're able to play action you where you're not physically able to deal with the bodies that are athletic enough to run away from you. So Sean McVay originally leaned into this early as a changeup, but then he has found that, man, people are having a tough time lining up. And because there's so much creativity, so much versatility, so much diversity that you can use out of the set, meaning I can go I formation with one of the tight ends as a fullback, the 2 other tight ends on the line, 1 receiver out wide. I can then come back and put 3 tight ends on the side, receiver out the other way, 1 back in the backfield. I can come back and do a variety of ace wing formations with 2 tight ends, an ace and a wing formation, meaning the tight end is attached to one of the other tight ends and he can move and change the strength of the offensive personnel. It is a headache. And when you can create headaches and chaos for opponents, you love it. Man, when you're looking at the Rams this week, pay attention to their 13 personnel package. It is the cheat code that has allowed them to become one of the top teams in the NFL. Final thing, it's a little disappointing, but I'll say this. Michael Penix officially done for the season. Torn left ACL injury that will put the franchise quarterback for the Falcons on the shelf until 2026. Hate to see that happen. And the reason why I hate to see it is because now what it does is it makes all the scouts kind of confirm the narratives that and the isms, the truisms that we've been taught for so long as evaluators. Hey, guys that get hurt in college, guys are going to get hurt in the pros. If a guy has had serious injuries, he's a bit of an injury-prone factor. You may not want to take the risk. For Michael Penix, it is all the worst of that when it comes to evaluating a player who has been beat up and knocked around. He has been, the last 8 years they've played football, 5 of those seasons, he is finished with a season in an injury. This is his 3rd ACL injury. He's had 2 on his left, 2 on his right leg, and then this is an ACL injury on his left leg. So now both knees have had serious injuries that will kind of change the way that he has to play and perform, and you have to worry about his activity, his mobility, and his athleticism as a result. The other part of it is it stunts his growth as a player. Just when we're beginning to think that he's going to develop some chemistry and continuity with Drake London and Kyle Pitts and some of the other playmakers that have Bijan Robinson telling his years, he is now out. Kirk Cousins has to come back. And we didn't even like Kirk Cousins last year when he played. So now Raheem Morris and company got to count on Kirk Cousins to maybe save their jobs down the stretch. If you're the Falcons, the Dirty Birds, who had high hopes going into the year, this is worst case scenario. And his worst case scenario, not only because your franchise quarterback is hurt, you don't know if he'll ever be the quarterback that you want to be given the history that he has with injuries. And so you're back to square one. And I know if I'm owner Arthur Blank, I'm very concerned because of all the money and the investments that they put in the quarterback position, they don't have one. They don't have a QB1 that they can rely on. And so as I think about this and I think about the Falcons playoff hopes being on almost flatlining when it comes to the hospital, like they're on life support. I just don't know if they're going to be able to bounce back from this injury with Michael Penix. And I don't know if Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot are going to be able to survive the implications of this devastating injury for Michael Penix. Now, I wish Michael Penix well. I hope he recovers. I hope he becomes the quarterback that we all want. But I just know from outside looking in, bad situation for the Falcons, bad situation for their young franchise quarterback. That is it for the Bucky Brooks Show. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for having a conversation with me regarding Shedeur Sanders and I guess a few other quarterbacks, Josh Allen, Michael Penix. Until next time, make sure you come back, check out all the cool things that we're doing at Bleav. Rate, review, subscribe to the pod. Until next time, this is the Bucky Brooks Show.